Before I get started with this video, I just want to give mention to the fact that today, December the 8th, is the birthday of the Iceman, Jerry Butler, who's one of the original members of the classic group The Impressions, along with his childhood friend, the late great Curtis Mayfield. This is an old photo of them from the late 1950s when they were all still teenagers in the city of Chicago. In the early 1960s, Butler pursued solo aspirations and went on to have a wonderful career. And to this day, the Iceman can still be seen from time to time doing his thing, whether it's on stage performing or hosting shows as a guest MC. Iceman, like so many others, does not get the recognition that he rightfully deserves, being a music pioneer, especially when it comes to outright showmanship skills. Many artists who have come along after his heyday have used many of the techniques that Jerry Butler crafted and owned when most of us weren't even thought of yet. So let's give it up for the Iceman and remember to always value our own culture and legacies, because if you don't know your history, you don't know you. And with that, we're going to get on with this video. I'm going to try to keep this brief because I got somewhere to be a bit later. But this video is just me once again thanking those of you who subscribe and support Morale Inc. and the teachings brought forth to you by yours truly, as well as others that I highlight from time to time in these social media videos and articles which I share. And since we are on that subject, I want those of you who support to know that I have recently won a small victory over a career troll who has been biting at the back of my heels, trying to do her best to slow me down here on YouTube over the years. Some weeks back, she did a copyright claim against me in the efforts of trying to get me flagged away, and I fought back by letting Google know that this woman has harassed not only me but my supporters over the years, threatening them with violence from time to time just because they support certain social views I have and they use sound judgment and critical thinking and can easily see the facts for themselves when I warn them about the damage which feminism and single motherhood cause. This small victory is why I chose to title this video, "The Google Gods Have Spoken." And although I am happy that this took place, and I would like to bask in this small victory, I can't, because I'm still being bothered by this troll. And the fight is far from over, because this same troll who is responsible for this cougar-like pounce attack has still been sending me messages through comments claiming that she is going to be taking me and Google to court after she files a frivolous lawsuit, which, as I told her, holds no weight and absolutely no merit whatsoever. And while I'm on the subject of trolls and false flagging, I want to shed light on other YouTubers who have been attacked by trolls over the years, like Sergeant Willie Pete, Soul in Black, Wacky World of O, Dan Freeman, who was formerly known as the Avenue Rants, who refuses to make any more YouTube videos, by the way, as well as my main man, Mayor of Blacktown, of Blacktown.net, who, like me, has had almost a dozen channels shut down over the years. Okay? The brother Jonathan L. Roberts, who was known as Hey, It's a Black Guy, also had his channel attacked and shut down by trolls. In fact, I didn't even know that his channel had been shut down until someone told me recently. I thought that the brother just decided to call it quits and stay on Facebook posting things from time to time because I see him on there. But he was shut down almost a year ago and I didn't even realize it. Which brings me to another thing. Those of us who follow one another on here that are serious-minded when it comes to spreading the information we put in the videos, vlogs, blogs, shared articles, and news editorials have got to stay locked in with one another and make sure that we keep up. Now, I'll be the first one to admit that I'm guilty of straying off and losing contact with folks myself, but I realize that us as men who are like-minded and know what the prime source of the problems that erode our society today are must stay on mission and make a continuous effort to push and promote the real scoop, as opposed to that artificially produced cyanide-laced journalism which is created for the sole purpose of putting us all to sleep. One of the best ways of keeping up is by being within a group or different groups that share social political views and watch one another's back. Political journalists call them special interest groups. Feminists have them in spades, and they have all sorts of magazines and blogger cliques backing them up as well. One thing that most of us as black men in particular are missing is support. We seem to keep believing that we can fend off those who attack us socially on the solo tip, and it fails every time. Look what happened to Crazy Bruh when he was on that Dr. Drew talk show with Adina Jacobs and nothing but a sea of women in the audience. Look what happened to Jimmy Israel and Hill Harper when they were on that ABC Nightline news show with that simp Steve Harvey, goofball Sherry Shepard, and Jackie Reed, and nothing but neck-rolling sisters in the audience. Every time you attempt to run a kickoff back with no blockers up front, you will be plastered. All right? Black man, you need to look at feminist women like they are zombies on The Walking Dead. You can't fend off an entire herd of walkers all by yourself because they'll eat you alive. You need a strong group that backs one another up the same way they do. Okay? You can join groups outside of YouTube, like our group, Morale Inc., which I'll leave in the description box. You can also join groups like the newly formed Say No to Single Mothers, which I'll also leave in the description box as well. But don't go off by yourself thinking you'll be able to do it all alone, because you can't. All right? You have to socially gang up on them the same way that they gang up on us. All right? Now, women like the one who is claiming she is going to take me to court after Google granted me the right to use my own video again are going to use all sorts of warfare schemes and shaming tactics by calling you a punk and calling you a weak man. But remember that you have to fight fire with fire. They're going to yell out things like, a real man wouldn't do something like this. But you have to remember that these aren't real women we are dealing with anymore. These are psychotic savages who snack on danger and dine on death. Now, as a man who has been brought up with morals and good governing principles, you naturally feel obligated to use valiance, bravery, and be chivalrous towards the opposite sex. But those character traits which I described must be concealed at all times when dealing with this current incantation of women, because they are programmed to see this as a sign of weakness, which is why they go after thugs, dope boys, and the gremlin-like element of the community early on in life, and then demand that men who possess the core qualities I mentioned earlier take them after their stock has dropped. When these men refuse these second-rate advances, those women automatically go on seek and destroy mode on the social level by calling the man gay, saying he must have hatred for black women, it must be something his mama done did to him, he must only love white women, etc. You'll soon see that these women carry better shields than the soldiers on the movie The 300, and they want what it is, when they want it, and if they realize they can't get it, they resort to the childish shaming game, claiming that it's all in the name of equality. But think logically. The past 45 years of the post-feminist movement era has shown you that they don't believe in equality at all. That was never the feminist movement's intention at all. Their goal was outright domination, and they were able to succeed against many who were in our father's generation because they never saw the ambush coming. Most of the men in our daddy's generation who were caught up in the fervor of the civil rights movement and the black power movement of the 1960s were too busy looking for an enemy running around in a Klansman outfit or a fascist corrupt cop. They never imagined that their own women, whom they were very dear to, would go haywire and flip the script on them. But today, you brothers know, unlike our fathers who were being attacked in books, magazines, television shows, stage plays, college psychology department journals, and live on the radio, you have the ultimate media weapon in the internet, and you can use it at your own discretion, however you see fit. The force is now with you, brothers.